volunteers.
That's what we were going to
Right, so we were a local that wanted to donate to an Indigenous activist group, but we needed something a little more pointed than that. So we're pretending we're very rich, okay, for the sake of argument. Maybe not Mark Zuckerberg rich, but like getting up there. We're actually richer than Mark Zuckerberg. We were gonna bid for Auntie Cohart's land on her behalf, and then just slide it her way.
That's awesome. You specifically targeted somebody who had their land stolen and returned it to them. Good job. One more. Did anyone use legal avenues? It's okay. Does anyone have one more? Somebody in our class have? You know what? We have an idea. Sure, we'll do an idea. What if we combine multiple positionalities with multiple strategies? So we're 3 people, so we can do that. So what if we combine legal, genealogical, and economic plans? Like, let's say I took something to the Hawaiian Supreme Court and said, hey, like, these are my, if I was Native, I would be like, I have rights to fully on a parcel, you have to give it to me, but I have to have other people advocating for me through public protests or, you know. Yeah, so we could use public protests to raise some awareness about this, cause some buzz, and generally educate people in the area. But one thing we still need is money to win this case.
So we can find a way to rally up funds for these efforts and also make sure that we're not just throwing money at one specific issue, but using the money to create a more sustainable change in decolonizing the land.
Yay!
So thank you all for your responses. So now we're going to unpack both sessions of being assigned a positionality and working together with someone else in order to begin thinking about how to have a more critical consciousness about decolonization and move away from more constricting metaphors and tactics of doing so.
Right, ooh, the last stretch before we eat. So positionality, we focus mainly on positionality. I'm gonna read a quote from Goodyear Kaukua, that both settler and indigenous people must take part in dismantling the structures that prohibit sustainable indigenous self-determination and caring for lands. At the core, such an alliance is the continual recentering of land and relationships to land. So we highlighted the different positionalities without necessarily racializing them because it is more complicated, so that we're not stuck within the settler-native binary or the violent irony of using our current colonial ideology and tools to free Hawaii. So rather than getting stuck with the confines of the tools that we currently have, we reposition the land and Kanaka Maoli relations to that land to allow the focus to be on decolonization rather than the politics of positionality.
So then we also wanted to bring up this idea of indigenous futurities, which is also an idea from Goodyear Kaupua. So basically, this is a way to critically analyze the relationships that people have currently in order to destroy settler colonial thinking and tactics. So this kind of relates back to the previous slide about how decolonization is not just a metaphor, but instead requires actual returning of stolen land, combined with a critical consciousness and realizing that the most effective ways to dismantle settler colonial systems with all who are involved. And so it's kind of interesting to see how a lot of your responses in the second part of this game wanted to combine more of a community aspect with that.
And so to close, we're kind of going to give you a metaphor and we're just going to bring us back to the beginning of this panel when we were talking about Pukak and the expanding of worlds, which, while empowering, could also be a little bit overwhelming. So we're going to look to the words of Soni Ganadin, who is a lawyer who visited our class and was just very inspirational. And he gave us this quote that everyone, we're all working towards the same goal. We're all in the same canoe working towards decolonization. And so we have 3 options. We can either stop, go back, or continue forward to a greater future. And that is our presentation. Thank you guys.
All
right, thank you so much, panel 3, for gracing us with so much knowledge and wisdom.
I'm a bomb MC and a scholar. So finally, we'd just like to thank everyone for coming. We put a lot of hard work into this, and I know it was like 3 hours long, and we tried to feed you, but you couldn't move, and we kind of forced you to stay here. But thank you for coming. So yeah, in addition, we couldn't have this happen again without 2 different groups of people. Number 1, our sponsors. Do we have to read them? Yes.
Yes. Wait, are these all of them? Yeah. So we would love to thank the Asian American Studies Program, Weinberg College Office of Research, Center for Native American and Indigenous Research, the Global Indigenous Studies Working Group at the Buffett Institute, Kaplan Institute for the Humanities, and the Department of English. So thank you all very much.
And the last thing we want to, last 2 people we want to thank so much is our aunties. So first of all, in Hawaii, yeah, we're missing one. In Hawaii, it is not only a term of affection, but also a term of like respect to call someone your auntie. So throughout this entire experience, not only the 10 weeks, but also the week before, we just had the amazing opportunity to have our 2 professors, Auntie Hobart and Auntie Sharma, not only mentor us, but also just like be amazing professors, academics, people we can talk to, confide in, go to their house and make food with.
Can I just say, I want to, like, Auntie Hobart is like the most amazing woman I've ever seen in my life. Like,
she was a baby.
She got out of the Uber the first day once we were headed to the airport, and all of us were looking at each other like, I know this lady is not pregnant, like, coming on this trip. But she did, like, everything we did, plus more. She lifted heavy rocks and everything, and she's been the most wonderful person. And
while pregnant!
Exactly. And obviously, Auntie Sharma is just a goat.
You invite us into your house. Oh, she's just amazing, both of them. So, without further ado, can you guys come up? If you can,
please come up so we can give you a special gift.
There's a baby. She had a baby Thursday. On Tuesday she was in class. Her name? Ho'anu Awayao.
Thank you so much for everything. Thank you.
Alright, enough of this cheesiness. We do really love all of you so much. So who's ready for some food? Woo! No one's excited about food? Okay,
we'll take it for ourselves.
Yeah, so feel free to pick up your trash and throw it away. It would be awesome.
Thank you all for joining us.
So much for being here.
Food is in the back. You're all amazing people.